Wellness Rhythm Show. Find your rhythm. Live your wellness.
Y'all, let me tell you something that happened at my gym last month. I've been faithfully doing these long, slow cardio sessions for years, thinking I was doing everything right. And then a trainer friend of mine watched me for about 5 minutes and said, "Emma, I think you might be fighting your own body."
That is a genuinely interesting observation, because there's a growing body of research suggesting that not all of us are built to respond the same way to the same type of exercise. And the reason comes down to something most people have never thought about: the type of muscle fibers you actually have.
Which, when I first heard this, I thought it sounded like a cop-out. Like, oh sure, blame your genetics when you don't want to do cardio. But honestly, the science here is pretty fascinating.
Right, and it's not about avoiding hard work. It's about working in a direction your biology is actually designed to support. Today, we're digging into muscle fiber types, what the research says, and why this matters enormously for longevity, not just athletic performance.
So let's start at the very beginning, because I had to Google what muscle fiber type even meant. Can you break this down in plain English, David?
Absolutely. So your skeletal muscles, the ones you use to move, are made up of individual fibers. And broadly, those fibers fall into two main categories. Type 1, which are slow twitch fibers, and type 2, which are fast twitch fibers. Type 2 actually has subtypes, but let's not go down that rabbit hole yet.
Okay, slow twitch, fast twitch. What does that actually mean for how my body works?
Slow twitch fibers are highly fatigue resistant. They're dense with mitochondria, they use oxygen efficiently, and they're built for sustained, lower intensity effort. Think marathon runners, cyclists, long-distance swimmers.
And fast twitch?
Fast twitch fibers contract quickly and powerfully, but they fatigue fast. They're the fibers a sprinter or a weightlifter is drawing on. Big force, short duration. And here's the kicker: the ratio of these fibers in your body is largely determined genetically.
Which is where my trainer's comments suddenly made a lot more sense. Because I am not a natural distance runner, y'all. I have never been. And I kept wondering why I was grinding away on the treadmill with mediocre results.
You're in good company. Research published in the journal Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise has shown that elite endurance athletes can have slow twitch fiber compositions above 80%, while elite sprinters often show the reverse. Most of us sit somewhere in between, but the lean varies.
So how do people even find out what their fiber type is? Because I'm not signing up for a muscle biopsy.
Right, and that's historically been the gold standard, a needle biopsy, which is exactly as uncomfortable as it sounds. But researchers like Dr. Daniel Belais and teams studying sports genetics have developed non-invasive proxies. Things like jump tests, sprint-to-endurance ratio assessments, and increasingly, genetic testing through companies that look at markers like the ACTN3 gene.
The ACTN3 gene, tell me more.
So ACTN3 codes for a protein found almost exclusively in fast-twitch muscle fibers. A 2003 study by Yang and colleagues, published in the American Journal of Human Genetics, found that a specific variant of this gene, sometimes called the sports gene, is strongly associated with power athlete status. People with 2 copies of the R variant tend to have more fast-twitch fiber potential.
And people with a different variant?
More likely to excel at endurance, but here's the nuance. ACTN3 is one gene. It's a signal, not a sentence. Training still matters enormously. Dr. Claude Bouchard at Louisiana State University has done landmark work showing that while genetics influence about 50% of our fitness response to training, the other half is genuinely trainable.
Okay, so if we're not doing biopsies, and most of us won't get genetic testing, what are the practical clues? Because I feel like this is where our listeners are really leaning in.
Great question. And this brings us to what exercise scientists call self-assessed phenotyping. Basically, how does your body respond to different training stimuli?
Give me examples.
If you naturally recover well from long runs, enjoy sustained effort, and find that heavy lifting leaves you sore for days, with minimal strength gains, you likely lean slow twitch. Conversely, if you get bored jogging, but put a heavy barbell in front of you and you feel alive, you're probably more fast twitch dominant.
Oh, David, I am standing up in my kitchen right now. That second one is me. That is me.
Brilliant point, Emma. And this actually matters enormously for longevity, which is the real heart of today's episode. Because the research on healthy aging increasingly shows we should be training our weaknesses, not just reinforcing our strengths.
Wait, that feels like a contradiction. You're saying know your type, but then also train against it?
Right, let's unpack that. Knowing your type tells you what comes naturally and what gives you the best return on investment. But for longevity specifically, both fiber types matter in ways that change as we age.
Here's the thing though, what actually happens to our muscles as we get older?
So this is where it gets really important for our listeners, especially those in the sandwich generation and pre-retirement years. Research by Dr. Roger Fielding at Tufts University has shown that type 2 fast-twitch fibers atrophy at a significantly faster rate with age than slow-twitch fibers. By your 60s and 70s, you can lose a substantial percentage of fast-twitch fiber function if you've done nothing to maintain it.
And losing fast twitch function means what, practically speaking?
It means losing the ability to react quickly, to catch yourself if you trip, to get up off the floor, to carry groceries upstairs without your legs buckling. It's a major driver of falls and loss of independence in older adults.
So even if someone is a natural endurance person, a slow twitch dominant person, they still need to do some strength and power work?
Absolutely, and vice versa. If you're fast twitch dominant and you've been lifting heavy your whole life, cardiovascular endurance training isn't optional either. The American College of Sports Medicine's guidelines for adults over 50 explicitly recommend both aerobic and resistance training for this reason.
Okay, I want to pause here because I know some of our listeners are thinking, I barely have time for one type of workout, let alone designing some sophisticated fiber type optimized program. And I feel that deeply.
Fair. And this is where training specificity becomes your friend, not your enemy. If you know your natural lean, you can be strategic. A slow twitch person might get more longevity benefit from adding even 2 short sessions of explosive movement per week than from adding another hour of cardio.
And for a fast twitch person?
A couple of Zone 2 cardio sessions, meaning sustained conversational pace aerobic work, can dramatically improve cardiovascular health, mitochondrial density, and metabolic function, all of which support longevity. Researchers like Dr. Inigo San Millan at the University of Colorado have done compelling work on Zone 2 training's role in metabolic health.
Y'all, if you're finding this as mind-opening as I did, this is exactly the kind of episode that deserves a like and subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on. It genuinely helps us reach more people who need this kind of practical, evidence-based conversation.
Much appreciated. And speaking of practical, I want to address the skeptics for a moment, because I was one of them.
Oh, this I want to hear.
My instinct when I first encountered fiber type specificity was that it risked becoming another excuse. Another reason people justify not exercising. Oh, I'm just not built for that. And I think that's a legitimate concern.
Totally legitimate. I worried about the same thing.
But the research doesn't support that reading. What it actually supports is personalization. Dr. Stacy Sims, who has done outstanding work on individual variation in exercise response, makes the point that understanding your biology helps you sustain a training habit because you stop fighting yourself constantly.
Yes, and I'll say this from personal experience. When I shifted from long, dreaded cardio slogs to shorter, more explosive conditioning work, I actually wanted to go to the gym. That consistency is what produces long-term results.
And consistency ultimately beats optimization every single time. The best program is the one you actually do.
Here's the thing, though. I do want to acknowledge that not everyone has access to trainers or gyms. And this framework still applies at home, with bodyweight work, with hills on a walk, with seated resistance exercises for folks managing mobility challenges.
Completely agree. The principles scale across all fitness levels and life stages. Whether you're juggling toddlers or managing a knee replacement recovery, understanding how your body responds helps you make smarter choices with the time and capacity you have.
Okay, so if you take one thing from today's episode, here's what I'd say. Stop assuming that the exercise everyone else is doing is the exercise your body needs. Pay attention to what your body responds to. Build from there and then intentionally add what you're not naturally drawn to, because that gap is probably your longevity gap.
Right. Here's what I've learned from the research. Your genetics are the starting point, not the finish line. Use fiber type awareness as a diagnostic tool, not a destiny. Train your strengths for consistency and your weaknesses for longevity. And if you want a single science-backed starting point, add 2 sessions of resistance training per week if you don't already do it. Full stop.
That's the move. And as always, we're not your doctors, we're your informed friends. Talk to your healthcare provider before making big changes, especially if you're managing any health conditions. But know that this conversation, it's one worth having.
Optimistically realistic, as ever, thanks for listening to the Wellness Rhythm Show.
Y'all take good care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. This show is part of the VoxCrea.ai system. If you want a show like this for your organization without building it yourself,
Go to voxcreel.ai and request a sample episode.